Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? Alright, Accelerator. My god, man. If Friday isn't one of the best days for animes, I just don't know what is, cause this is ridiculous, man. We gotten so many amazing shows that it's hard to imagine what day could actually live up to beating Friday when you get just ridiculous content like this. So to start off with Accelerator, we easily start and see just where all of this like weird necromancy stuff kind of stems from, and we kind of see just who is trying to make the most out of it. And the problem with all of this is the fact that they are using it and bringing back, well, they're like, for first off, they're trying to find people that are espers or people that are ridiculously strong and have powers. So now, once they're gone, like once they actually die or something happens to them, like this week, they just literally waited for a girl to attempt to take herself out, and by doing so, they then get to receive her body. That's a level two pyronesis. Like she literally can just use blue flames easily, and she doesn't want to really live anymore. And because of this, she tries to jump in a river, and that doesn't even work, to the fact where now she even wants to, she's still trying to figure out a way out of this whole dilemma that she's in. And yeah, she winds up in the worst police car or hospital car you can ever imagine, because these people not only noticed that she tried to do this and failed, but they also go into the point of trying to then finish the job for her. And by finishing the job, I mean they literally have the mask for oxygen shooting in river water at her. So not only does it look like she completed her task in jumping in the river and ending herself, but she also literally has to be, regain consciousness and witness this while they're doing this to her. So absolutely ridiculous how this episode started, and just what these people are doing in general to get by. But there's one thing they did not account for, and that was for this girl who is really good at necromancy and who taught this organization DA how to like use the soul of somebody to continue to use their powers even when their body mind has gone somewhere else and they have passed on. They're still using their abilities to their fullest and even leveling up the ability times two, because this supposedly attacks and all these abilities were on the level of a level 4 and not a level 2 anymore. So not only are they, doing terrible things to these people, they are practically showing us that, hey, we can also do this so easily. In the case of, we're doing this, and since we got away, we'll just do it with a different body. Like we'll just find more powerful bodies to practically test this on and come back with more firepower. But seeing how they don't know where the girl has gone, like she just quote unquote escaped. I don't think they thought she would go to Accelerator or go to this guy that is ridiculously powerful and stuff. I mean, they should imagine that that's a possibility. But with how they treated the guy who witnessed it all and was talking to the guy and fought him pretty much head on with the coffin, they call the people who have lost their souls and still being used against their will, their coffins. And to think that, the way that they handle people who fail is to dissolve their bodies. which just sounds disgusting. Sounds like straight up watching someone's body turn into straight like bone marrow or something. Like taking someone's full blown body and just melting it down until it's bones. Like, come on, bruh. So that was interesting. Just seeing like this organization and how it works. But the thing that really surprised me was the fact that it didn't end in one episode with Accelerator, just going in and just teleporting over there and destroying them. But it really makes sense why it didn't end within this week's episode because of his history and things he's seen, still giving him quite a bit of trauma, actually, which is surprising in my opinion because we don't really see that side of like characters sometimes, including characters that people would consider to be the villain of their show, like a villain at one point or whatever. Like for him to literally be having flashbacks to the people that he's done wrong, and because of that, it literally allows other people to get away. It just kind of shows you that he's still suffering from what he's done to these people, and that's another like beautiful characteristic of this show of just how much detail goes into. How am I missing a grab, brother? How much detail goes into even the smaller characters that seemingly weren't the main focus of the story. They weren't even supposed to be this big of characters, right? Like now in this day and age, we can champion a character so freaking hard that it feels like they deserve their own shows. But to be fair, there's already written material out there as well, and I'm guessing there's been pools for this show, maybe in general, or maybe just for characters out there. And I would imagine Accelerator wins some of those pools, not win like fully, but at least shows up relatively high on the takes because not only is this character like ridiculously soft-hearted when it comes down just to certain situations that if he's there, he might as well just, do something about it. And that's where like his soft heart part comes in. But at the same time, he allowed this girl to, get taken away and like get beat up right in front of him. He didn't care. So he does have the tendency to really just watch things play out the way that they're supposed to in the grand scheme of if you couldn't protect yourself, then that I guess that's what was supposed to happen to you in his eyes. And then when he sees the picture of Last Order that this girl is carrying around, which kind of like made me more curious about this whole thing as a whole, because now that we know we're dealing with someone that knows about Last Order, it puts that much more urgency, I feel like, on Accelerator to want these people out of the picture completely, or at least to figure out why she has such a picture of Last Order in the grand scheme of like her birth, like the time she finally came to, and what could Last Order actually do for her? Like what's her plan to use a kid in this hostile environment? So really interested in that overall, see where that plays out. But not only that, we are in a position now where everything in this show is probably going to be hype, man. Like Accelerator is ridiculously powerful. I did get some information from one of my anime people. I don't even know if they were subbed or not, but they did say if they wanted to, they could go all the way to the end of the source material and probably give us 24 episodes dang there. So that's also really good reinsurance that this isn't just like a one-off, like, oh, Accelerator is here and now he's gone. It feels like it's something that can continue to go as long, if not longer, than even the railgun, right? People like Misaka so much, and not even the Misaka that says Misaka. you know, they just like Misaka, and she got her own show, and I really did not care for that first season at all. I really wanted to see the guy who can break stuff, and to think that I thought it was never coming because they, made the railgun. I thought that was like the actual real series back then when it first dropped, and I was really novice at anime, and knowing that it was even possible for side characters to be so dang popular. It's like if Iron Man was an anime, and then we saw Captain America in in Iron Man's anime, and we're like, man, Captain America sure would be cool to have his own show, and then it happened, you know. So that's how ridiculously quick that happened, in my opinion, when I was watching the other show, the first season of Index, and then Railgun just showed up. I was like, what the heck is going on? So to see Accelerator in that position now and absolutely enjoying both episodes now, I'm just happy that they didn't end a whole nother organization or a whole nother like group of people that are supposedly evil or supposedly have a lot of pool. I mean, as we see, they had like 4 or 5 people that were all, tuning into this, that were the heads up of giving probably money, getting positions, understanding information. It feels like they could have had a whole bunch of people that all contributed in their own ways just by how they were showing them. So there's a lot to digest, and I really hope that you guys are ready for some more Accelerator. I absolutely can't wait to see what this show has to bring. Even though it's 12 episodes, like I was saying, there's a chance that there could be more in the future as long as the source material keeps going. And if it doesn't keep going, we at least have enough for another season of this, seemingly. So let's pray that it keeps going and they can keep making up like really awesome Accelerator stories in the grand scheme of not just doing it to do it, but more or less to make him a better character in the grand scheme of when he shows back up. We even have more reason to believe in him saving the day than just doing what he wants to do at the end of the day. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening. I got like 3 more shows to go watch: JoJo, Fire Force, and Dr. Stone. So if you are not subscribed here, what are you doing? No, but if you aren't subscribed here and you are watching this, I hope that you stick around to see the other videos I drop. And if not, I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening. But to my anime people, I will talk to you guys very, very soon after I watch all these shows. With all that, peace.